Hey guys, this is episode 2 of Tables, Ladders, and Bumps with Marlon and Wade. Got a lot of stuff to go over today. Our last episode we went over the NXT pay-per-view, and since then there's been Raw, NXT, Dynamite. There was a press event, SmackDown. So yeah, there's a lot, and Raw. I mean, there's not too much to really get into there, other than Drew McIntyre just being awesome and kind of
Oh my
like
goodness.
really, in my opinion, the most important part of Raw was him. One, that The Rock was getting booed, and it kind of showed that like the responses were not just on the internet.
Hmm.
So uh that was big. The matches, there was not really anything too major in my opinion. They did have the DIY one, that
Oh yeah,
tag
the
match.
tournament.
That was actually a pretty sick match. But
Yeah, the
uh
four-way tag match.
yeah, and then yeah, I was just not it just felt weird, and I saw people who went to like the event and they said it was like a weird environment in there because like
Mm,
I mean, people drove from like all over to support Cody, and
mm.
uh it's just, yeah, it seemed like, and it kind of, I felt bad for some of the other people wrestling because it took away from all of their matches and stuff, but that's not the fans' fault. That's WWE's fault for doing something stupid with the SmackDown the few days before. So yeah, I thought Drew McIntyre, he had a great promo and kind of like tried to salvage everything by saying, "Hey, you still need to go for the story and all that." And I thought, I mean, time and time again, he's this dude needs to get paid, man. Whatever. I think he's, other than like Cody, who like what Cody does, being like the number one baby face, is incredibly difficult. But Drew is the most interesting character in.
Yeah, I was thinking about Drew today when I was watching SmackDown from last night, and
Yeah.
the promos that he's cutting, the truths that he's telling, like
Yeah.
the passive aggressive. I don't even call it passive aggressive, kind of just like the backhanded compliments. If he's gonna
Yeah.
compliment you, there's gonna be a sting to it from his point of view.
Yes, it is backhanded. He doesn't do the backhanded thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a backhanded compliment. It all comes back to him being worthy of being a champion or the other guy not getting the job done as good as he can. And I don't know if he's heel or face. Like I want to boo him, but I'm like he's so right in so many ways. Whether he's
Yeah.
talking about Punk's fragility, Seth's irrelevancy, and Cody's lack of testicular fortitude.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with him is he's certainly a heel because he's a dick, but everything he's saying is true. So you're kind of like,
Like I can't hate this guy.
yeah, I can't hate him at all. And was it on SmackDown? He called himself uh DM Hunk, or Drew
DM Hunk.
McIntyre. Yeah, DM Hunk. And I was like, which I'm stupid. At first, when he said that, I was like, oh, like someone's DMing him, and I was like, oh, it's Drew McIntyre. I don't know why I was like, it was so dumb.
I
We're
could see
thinking it
that.
had to do with DMs, but
That's going to be on a shirt in a couple of weeks.
oh, 100%, and I might buy it. Yeah, he's great, man. So yeah, that's like the biggest thing from Raw. I don't think they had a qualification, which Becky won, which, yeah, we don't even need to go into that. That was like a
Right.
foregone conclusion. Um, NXT, I thought it was a really good episode this
Hmm.
week, and the Dijak and Ilya Dragunov,
Oh,
like leading up to the match, Dijak shoot punches him in the forehead,
oh my
and
goodness.
like these dudes are psychopaths, and
Yeah. These like
uh
sadistic mofos just, wanting to inflict pain on people and also take it just as well.
yeah, it is. They're both so weird, and that match was awesome. They like kicked the crap out of each other, and then it just ends with um a boxing glove attached to a stick hitting someone, and they're like legit punching and kicking each other. They're not like pulling their punches at all. And then a freaking boxing glove that there's no way you could actually make that hurt like at all. Like even if you hit
Right.
me right in the nose with it, like just the amount of force you could do from there, like it's I mean, if you see Kill Bill, like the 5 point
Right.
palm exploding heart thing, like most people are not going to be able to do much from there. And it just looked like it barely got him. And then he's like, oh, that's how he loses. I just, I loved it.
Didn't I
Yeah,
say it was like a Looney Tunes, a live
it
action
was, it
Looney
was,
Tunes
it
cartoon?
was a Looney Tunes thing. So, I
The
mean,
glove said Acme on it. I'm pretty sure. We got to
it's,
double
yeah,
check.
certainly. So yeah, I was a big fan of that match, to be honest. I thought it was really good, but I mean, yeah, you can't wrestle like that almost ever. Like they are kicking like I forgot who was saying it. It might have been Sidgwick from What Culture, but
Yeah.
like Dragunov, if you watch his matches, he like will if he will move his head instead of like away when the punch or the coming, he moves into the punch to make sure it
Yeah.
actually like connects, and it's the craziest thing I ever seen in my life. I'm like, oh, let me make sure this can actually connects so it looks better. Yeah, he's a psycho. But
So
yeah, I
I was scrolling through my TikTok or IG or something like that, just casually scrolling through the NXT profile. And then I get to a point where it says this post has sensitive content or, restricted material. Do you choose to watch it anyway? And I said, yeah. And it was the Joe Gacy boxing glove.
no way. I was gonna ask if it
I'm
was
dead
that.
serious. I was laughing so hard. I
I
was
was
like,
about to ask that as a joke, like, oh, was it the boxing glove? And it actually
it
was.
was.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude. Goated moment, goated spot for sure.
Oh yeah. I like took a screenshot of it, like with it making contact and everything. I'm like, oh man, I almost like want to make it my profile picture. Yeah, that match was awesome. Um, but yeah, they had the Roxanne match. Yeah, but that was, I mean, the Ilya Dijak thing. They had
Well, the Mellow
the
coming out as the villain wearing the Killmonger-esque
yeah.
wardrobe. He's got the new dreads, the new braids.
I mean,
Yeah, it
he's
was
dressed like Shawn Michaels when he turned on Marty Jannetty.
Marty
That's
Jannetty.
basically
Yeah,
the outfit. But
yeah. And then him like coming out, and then they're telling him that he ain't him, and he's gonna get his, and he just leaves. But
yeah, I was
I
surprised
love the
they. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I love the mellow spot when he was giving his speech, sitting down, and despite like this dude just earned so much of my respect, despite what the crowd was throwing at him, everything, he just kept going and he kept going and didn't miss a beat in his promo or in what he was explaining about why he attacked Trick and just kept digging and why he was right. I love that. I was like, dude, huge respect for this guy for getting through that onslaught by the crowd.
This is one of those him handling all this stuff and seeing kind of the range that he has. Um, I know a lot of people are like obsessed with Trick, which I like Trick a lot, and he has high ceiling. But the one, just the work rate that Mello can do wrestling wise is pretty insane. And let's be real, Trick will never be able to wrestle that well. Like if we're being honest, and he doesn't need to because he has the star power,
The
charisma.
aura.
Yeah, the aura up the out of this world. But if there's at some point when you're a baby face, people are gonna lose interest in you at some point, and like Mellow that has started to happen in my opinion. But seeing that he can actually play a heel so well, I think says a lot about the longevity and everything possible in his career, which I was not bought into him as a as the way they had
as
him
the
as a
one.
baby. Yeah,
Mhm.
or as I just don't like that character, him as a baby
Mhm.
face. But him as a heel right now, uh, I mean, he's good in the ring, great worker, makes his opponents look great too. His ceiling is, and I know I said this like the last episode, but yeah, I just continue to be impressed by him. And I think his ceiling is a lot higher than like I expected. So I don't I don't know if he's like a main eventer for WrestleMania. Probably not, maybe, but I think him is like a consistent, like very important person in the mid card, maybe wins the IC title a few times and stuff like that, which is important. You need people like that on your roster for sure. Um yeah, I see the longevity in his he could have a really long career in WWE, and I mean we got AEW, TNA. Like there's always he can kind of go back and forth because he can wrestle really well.
Mhm.
Where like AEW they'd have more of a focus on him wrestling
Mhm.
his butt off. So yeah, I was impressed with him. Um, and then yeah, speaking of AEW, uh, the Dynamite this week was awesome. Uh, but it was really, I mean the main highlight. Um, was Sting and Darby winning the tag titles.
And
I
then
think
getting
it
dumped by
by
Nicholas
the
Matthew.
yeah, by the Young Bucks. And I think I forgot to send you. I don't know if you saw they did a promo with the Young Bucks where they interviewed them after they beat the hell out of Sting and Darby.
I haven't seen
And
that.
oh man, I'll have to send it to you. But basically, they're like, man, we didn't want to have to do this, but like, and they're like, look, and they ruined our shirts. We're like like they're like, we're mad you made us beat you up type of thing, and
Playing the
like
victims.
yeah, you weren't responding to my text, so we had to beat you up type of thing. And it's just like so ridiculous, and it's like these are $5,000 suits like that they ruined. Where can we? What dry cleaner will take all this blood out of it and all this stuff? It was great, but they're um that was a long beatdown too. That's like a 5 minute like
After the celebration, right?
yeah, and
The
they beat
confetti.
up Sting's kids too, which is great. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the Young Bucks kind of heel work right now. I didn't like they have great matches, but I didn't really like care for them basically this whole year. I just was like, oh, they have banger matches and I don't know, just something kind of annoyed me with them, and I also like CM Punk, and so that makes it a little weird to like the Young Bucks if you like
Mhm.
CM Punk too. So it's a weird feeling that
Why
you
not? I mean, come on, it's work. It's the business. They're, you know?
I mean kind of, but like I had a big issue with the Young Bucks not being willing, even though they got into a fight with CM Punk, to like wrestle with him after and like make money. They were like unwilling to do that, and I think that's just part of the business. Like now I guess it's not cool to like punch people. Like I feel like when I was in sports, you're gonna fight with people on your team and stuff sometimes, and then it's like
Oh yeah.
you punch each other and it's like, yeah, all right,
Yeah.
whatever. Like you fight
The
and
old
it's
Draymond
over.
treatment or Michael
Um,
Jordan Steve Kerr treatment.
yeah. So that's and I feel like I'm the same age as like the Young Bucks, but yeah, I just and even Kenny Omega was interviewed after the whole thing, and he's like, yeah, I mean, I think he did amateur wrestling, and he's like, yeah, you like fight your like teammate or something, and then you're like, all right, we're part
Mhm.
of a team, we still got to do this stuff, but uh, yeah, so that's kind of the thing with me with the Young Bucks. But back to Sting and Darby, I think this is Sting's first title in like 13 years
Mm.
or something, and he's been
Mhm.
undefeated in AEW. He's won like 25 matches with Darby. So it's like been like overdue for them to get this tag match. So
Right.
um I want to shoot this out to you. So their match with the Young Bucks is going to be their last match, and it's
Yeah,
like
the
in a few
retirement match,
weeks.
right? Hmm.
Do you think, because the old school way is for like the legend to go out on their back,
Hmm.
do you think that the Young Bucks should take the titles off of Sting and Darby, or do you think Sting and Darby should win the last match?
I think they should take the titles off of Sting and Darby.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't I
It's
honestly don't care either way, but I kind of would like the heels just to like make it just really like heartbreaking how Sting and Darby lose too. Like I don't
mhm.
want it to be like a really good match and then like they beat them clean. I want it to be like a
Squash almost.
no, just dirty. Like
Oh, okay.
um like ridiculous cheating
Mhm.
um to like pull it out.
Just the whole
So
time, like heelish moves the whole time.
heelish moves and the way they've been doing this whole heel thing, I know they can pull it off. So that's what if they're gonna win, I would like it to be as heartbreaking as possible. Like if you're gonna make him
Yeah.
go out on his back, like make it like actually upset people. Like is
Right.
what I kind of want.
Right.
Um so yeah, that's how I'm kind of feeling with that. But I would be fine. This is like the one situation where I'm like fine with Sting winning, like or
Mhm.
the legend going out on top just because of how terribly the WWE did his like
Mhm.
run before that. Like it was they're like, "Oh, you're going to wrestle in WrestleMania against Triple H, not against Undertaker, which is the one everyone wanted." And it's like, "And you're going to lose Triple H." It's like, "What the hell?" Like come on, dude. Like Triple H didn't need to win another WrestleMania match. Like
Right.
let's be real. So,
Yeah, and him to leave undefeated would be cool too. I
yeah.
mean, that would be. I think that would engrave his legend in wrestling even more to like leave AEW undefeated.
I mean, he's like almost a Mount Rushmore type of person. The dude's 65 and
Mhm.
still like putting on amazing matches.
Yeah, jumping off
He's
from the freaking balcony or hallway
dude's in,
entry.
dude's insane. I mean, Darby's like probably the craziest though. Like that boss man slam that he took from Big Bill was like the craziest thing
Oh, that was
ever.
insane.
His bumps are so crazy, man. I do not understand how he
Doesn't
like
have CTE.
yeah. Well, I mean he might like
He
let's be
might.
real. Like
You know who Darby reminds me of? I saw a thumbnail of him standing with Denise Salcedo,
mhm.
and just the way he was standing there so innocently reminded me of the I Like Turtle kid.
Oh, he does look like that kid. And he has the face
Yeah.
paint too.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I thought of it. I like had to double glance. Is that the I Like Turtle kid like grown up? And I was like, oh, it's Darby. So it does remind me of him. And he had like the 1,000 mile stare like
Yeah.
going out through. So I was rolling.
That's a pretty good Did you watch the interview with them?
I didn't watch it yet. And she
Oh,
interviewed
it
Nick Khan too. I mean not Nick Khan, Tony Khan too. I didn't see it yet.
Oh, I haven't watched that one, but the one with her and Darby's really good. It made me I've always liked Darby, but it made me like him even more. So, uh but yeah, okay, most important part,
Dude,
press event. Uh
we got to talk about your experience of going there. Thomas went to the freaking press event spontaneously, got himself VIP status, early entry, close seats, meet and greets.
yeah,
Sheesh.
it was
Tell me the experience, the process of when you got there.
yeah, so first of all, like Marlon and I have done like the priority whatever on location thing
Priority
before.
passes. Yeah.
Um this one because they put the event together like legit as last minute as you could put it together. Like they didn't tell me where the like thing to get any of my passes or anything was, so I just like showed up to the T-Mobile Center and I just walked in a circle around the thing until I'm like I'll find it eventually, but it was that part was like not the best, but I thought it was a pretty good turnout. I guess WWE thought there would be more people there than showed up, but it was pretty packed.
I saw some empty seats in your section.
Yeah, well, there was like they had a bunch of extra. It was like extra press seats behind
Mm,
us.
mm,
So, yeah, but yeah, the seats like all behind that were for the free ones, those basically everything around me except for directly behind me in the like stadium seating was full. And yeah, I'm terrible at guessing how many people are there. I'm like, I don't know, like
I'm not good
30,000.
at
I don't
that
know.
either.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't. It was not 30,000. It was probably like 5,000, I would guess, maybe
Okay.
tops. Um, yeah, I can't guess that. I'll be honest.
How many rows back
So,
were you from the stage?
I was like six.
Oh,
Yeah, I was pretty close, I think.
nice.
And yeah, the it was pretty cool being there. Like, so close. Like, first of all, like it's nuts to see how big The Rock is in person. Because I mean, he looks huge, and you like are like, oh, he has big muscles. But then when you see him like next to like Roman Reigns, and you're like, Roman's huge, and like I got to meet Cody after the event, and Cody's a lot bigger than me. And like you just see like how much bigger The Rock is, and I'm like, dude, I would have looked like Kevin Hart next to The Rock probably. And I'm like significantly larger than Kevin Hart. So like Kevin Hart's like 5'2". So I'm like I would have felt like him next to The Rock, like because yeah, it is really weird. But for me, the press event, it was a weird vibe in there because I would say it was like 70% Cody supporters, 30% Rock supporters. And
Hmm.
the Rock supporters, like I could barely see them, but they were like really loud. So it could have even
Hmm.
been less, but I'm like, where are these people? Because I saw all the Cody people, but I'm like, yeah, I couldn't figure out who the Rock people were. And the way the lights were, it was hard to like see. Um,
Hmm.
but there were like people next to me who were like cheering either way too. They'd be like, as the Cody people were cheering, they'd be like, Code, like, we want Cody. And then like as the Rock people were going, they're like, all right, I'll cheer for the Rock too. So
Right. That would have been
um
me. That would have been me.
yeah, and it was, I don't know if it was the acoustics or just like it was the building was bigger than it looked, but it would be like usually when you're in a building, like someone will start chanting and then you'll be able to catch up like, oh, okay, this is what's being chanted, and you'll be able to like catch up with them. But it seemed like the Cody people would be chanting over here and the
Mm.
other people would hear there's but it would never like catch up. So it was like a weird
Oh,
disjointed
right.
kind of thing. And I was like right in the middle. So it was like kind of it was a kind of a weird feeling. And then just like the fans going in between. So it was just like it was a really intense environment, for
Mm.
sure. So yeah, that was fun. But like for me, I thought, okay, the stuff with like Bianca, I felt like was very unnecessary to be honest. Like I like Bianca, but I
Hyping up
mean,
the show, dude.
yeah,
Hyping up the
hyping
show.
up the show, but we should have had Bailey there. Like
Yeah.
that's the big thing. Like Bailey has an actual match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like I get Bianca's won 3 matches at WrestleMania, but that certainly is far from the Undertaker's streak. Like it's not like you're only
Right.
off by like 18 or whatever to catch the Undertaker. So like let's pump the brakes on acting like this is a real streak or whatever. But and I like Bianca. She's and I met her. She's like super nice. Her and Montez are really nice. But yeah, I was and it was, I mean, what was she there for 3 minutes?
Yeah. Right. Right.
Like it
With
was,
no WrestleMania plans at the same
yeah,
time.
she was like, oh, well, I'm gonna find someone, and
Yeah.
everyone thinks it's Jade. Jade was at the thing too. I met Jade,
Hmm.
who's a million times more buff in person than you would expect.
Great picture, by the way.
Like,
Was she
dude,
does she have like a scent or an aura like coming off of her? Because you I feel
I
it through the
mean,
TV.
I didn't try to smell her, so I can't tell you
I'm just saying,
that.
like it comes
No,
saying
she looks
an
like a
essence, I
star.
should
She
say,
looks
or
like a
an essence.
superhero. She looks like a
Yeah.
superhero.
Yeah.
Like Bianca has like a like an or like I mean Bianca's like I mean, she looks beautiful, but like in person, it's like you're like, oh my God, this is like the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Like it's pretty crazy. Um, but yeah, Jade does have like it's a certain je ne
Yeah.
sais quoi. You like can't like put your finger on it, but you're like, yeah, she's someone.
Yeah.
I I know everyone wants her and Bianca to wrestle. I still would prefer Tiffany and Bianca, unless like if Jade goes into the chamber and she like looks like a boss and like her technique looks clean, I'd be cool with it. I just don't. I just want Bianca to have the best match at Mania, and I think Tiffany's the best match she would have.
Hmm.
Um, Out of everyone. Um, so yeah, my thing, I'm a Bailey Mark, so like I'm obviously gonna be annoyed by her not being on the promotion stuff at all.
Yeah.
They have
CM Punk
like
mentioned it, right? He did a little camera thing yesterday, I think, about
yeah,
Bailey not
which
being impressed.
and being around CM Punk in person, like I can't. I've liked him and I like that he's kind of like a disruptor and stuff. But just being around him while he's doing it, it like I'm like a way bigger CM Punk fan now. When
How'd
he
you
was
end up behind him? How did you end up in
they
that
told us
little
we could just they're like, "Oh, you guys could go stand there." So, like, yeah, if you guys watch the video where CM Punk's basically saying like, "Oh, I would slap the Rock and
Yeah,
stuff."
I
Like
saw that.
basically right after that, I'm like standing behind him, so you guys can see me like with my stupid phone filming, even though I was like should not have been filming it because I could have just recorded from the Peacock thing of myself. But yeah, I don't know why I did that, but yeah, you could see me on there, so that was like really cool because I've not been on TV for one of those things.
Right.
Uh,
So after the discourse, after the whole bloodline feud thing on stage, and CM Punk was doing commentary, and then like you could see Rock and Roman in the background like looking
mhm.
his way. Could you hear what CM Punk is saying throughout the arena?
Yeah, oh, that's a good question. So yeah, they would basically while the commentators, anything the commentators are saying is projected to us hearing as well.
Okay.
So, which you kind of like have to do for us which it is a good question because when you're at an event, you don't hear the announcers at all. It's just like
Exactly.
quiet while the matches are going. So, I
Exactly. So you
kind
could hear
of
the commentary.
yeah, you could hear the full commentary. Um and yeah, I could have gone over there earlier because some people were going and standing behind them while they were filming the beginning part of the
Mhm.
commentary, but I thought I'd get in trouble, and then they told us to basically go there for the second part, and I'm like, oh, okay. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I could like I tapped CM Punk when he was like leaving. Like he's a
Yeah.
cool dude. Like he seems uh and I just like loved him saying like, oh, I would punch the Rock or slap him or
So
whatever. And
Rock and Roman heard that.
yeah, like so I'm like
Okay.
standing
So
over
Rock and
there
Roman
and
heard
like he says it and then I like looked over because the Rock was still up there and the Rock's like, the hell? Like it was like looking at CM Punk like I'm about to beat you up right now. And yeah, that was like a weird vibe. And so the after thing where the Rock is basically yelling at Triple H.
Yeah, in the tunnel.
So
Hmm.
so when we were watching it, we could hear him say everything. Like none of it was
Right.
bleep. So he
Yeah.
said like the F word, like he
Yeah.
said like his shit a few times, and we were like, all of us were like, oh, like we're like, and all of us were like, did they air that on Peacock like that or like and
It was
everything?
blurred on Peacock, but then
Okay,
someone on Twitter released a non-censored version.
yeah, okay. So yeah, we heard it just, and that's what it made it seem way more real because I'm like, oh, I can't
Yeah.
believe The Rock cussed because he's like pretty PG for the most part for most of the things. Um,
In those segments, Roman looked like a little, I mean, size-wise too, but Roman looked like little brother. Like,
oh, 100%.
because Roman's like big dog, right? Roman's like the Titan of WWE, right? I mean, like he's the Thanos at this point. And when he was walking behind the Rock, I was like, this guy's
And
tiny.
he's like,
I'm
yeah,
like,
come on, let's go, boy. Like,
yeah, exactly. Come on, son.
yeah,
Like, yeah, that
yeah,
was crazy.
it was, I think all of that's on purpose too.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, like the positioning, the like
well,
what?
there's gonna, I guess, well, we could get into some of this now too, because so I don't know how you feel about it. If they could have, now, everyone's acting like there's some dumb people like that are acting like, oh man, they've been planning this the whole time. I'm like, no, they did not plan on, like, if they were planning this the whole time, they wouldn't have had Cody say, I'm not going to wrestle you at WrestleMania or whatever. Or they
Right.
would have done like the whole, because he looks like a jabroni. And I don't think they would have buried Seth's title as much as they did if like
Right.
this was all planned ahead of time. So, but yeah, now people are like, oh, this is genius. And I'm like, no, they like pivoted, which it's a really good pivot that they did. And I'm like pumped. And The Rock is obviously smart enough to know, like, oh shoot, I gotta be a heel. Like,
Yeah.
they don't love me as much as I thought they did.
Right.
And what The Rock said is this is the biggest WrestleMania match, him versus Roman. He's not wrong. It's just the wrong time for that
I
match.
thought at that point he knew what the crowd wanted and he knew he was going to give them what they wanted, right? Regarding
Yeah,
like, so I thought at that point he was just twisting the knife just
right.
to continue to troll.
Yes. Because he's
Yeah.
like, this is what this is what you're gonna have. You just have to deal with it,
Yes.
like type of
Yep.
thing. And I was fine with it. And then when he said there's only one royal family, I was like, okay, Cody's wrestling
Yeah.
Roman. Like I was like, that's what I said to like the guy sitting next to me. He's like, yeah, you're probably right. And then like Cody was like, oh, this is bullshit. Which was that bleeped out for you guys?
For the when the Rock said, oh, when Cody said it,
Cody said it.
I don't remember.
It's weird that they bleep out shit on Peacock because they could say the F word on
Right.
Peacock.
Someone was saying that on Twitter. They're like, why we're watching a streaming service with, legit movies and content. Why are they bleeping
They
this
got
out?
movies that are like almost softcore porn on there. Like you could
Right.
say shit. Like it's not that bad of a word. Like
Right.
I don't know why you could say bitch but not shit because they'll say bitch on
Yeah. You're
USA
right.
and stuff. So I think those are like equal words. I don't think
Right.
honestly I
Maybe
feel like
maybe bitch falls within the what is WWE right now? Is it PG-13 or still PG?
it's still PG, but I think it's going to TV 14 when it's on Netflix.
TV-14. Okay.
But I mean, I don't know why. But yeah, I think most people would say they're equal words, and some people would say bitch is worse, to be honest. Than
Good point.
uh, but
Okay, so getting back to the whole work thing.
yeah,
And that's a question that I'm still asking, right? I know we say no, they pivoted, but what if they planned to disrupt in order to pivot? You know what I'm saying? What if they knew they were going to have to pivot?
they might. Well, I think they would have done it a bit differently.
Yeah. Again,
So
Cody saying he's standing aside, like that just makes me not believe that it was a work from who
you
knows
could
when.
play, and some people are like, "Oh, that doesn't make sense." Still, you could easily write around that. Cody could basically what I would do, like me being the novelist or whatever, but
A true
I
journalist?
yeah, I would have Cody basically say, "Hey, the Rock had I thought it was a very like deep, like heartfelt conversation where he kind of had told me, "Hey man, I'm getting old. This will probably be the last time I could ever wrestle at WrestleMania, and this will hurt him more like me taking head of the table from him or whatever, all this stuff." And then Cody could be like, you know what? Like I look naive for believing this, but like, yeah, he tricked me. Like just be because Cody could play like like kind of naive guy and just being like, then I see that he's actually like joined the bloodline and I see how he's acting towards my fans who really care about me and have been supporting WWE Universe this whole time. And I saw who he really is. Something
Mhm.
like that, where you like, uh, I feel like that would explain it enough that you're like, okay, like, because either way, he's going to look like a jabroni for stepping aside for the Brock, for Rock. But you need to make it look like
There was
the
more thought
rock.
in the process.
Yeah, then just
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. Like,
So he mentioned that when he was on stage, he said, "Rock, I said we know." He said, "I know we had a great conversation, but I talked to more people as well."
yeah,
And that's when he said his decision, like he's like, "I'm going to fight Roman Reigns." So he did
yeah.
say that because he
I
referred
think he
back
needs
to
to go a little more into it though, because
right.
it like because he
So that
basically
that's what
I've
makes me think that this whole thing wasn't a work from, let's say, 4 months ago or 1 month ago, that it wasn't planned. And then that line right there told me, okay, that's the pivot. That's where he's like rescinding his, oh, I'm going to stand aside. I talked to the council, blah, blah, blah. So that's to me, that's him saying, like, wiping all that out.
so the other thing is too like Sean Ross Sapp with Fightful, he like interviewed like 30 people on the roster and like people that deal with the stuff and asked like timeline wise, like when they found out certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And unless they like were gonna keep this like a whole work like and
Right.
not let Cody know that this was gonna happen and make this whole like which I don't know why you would do that with one of your biggest stars. That's your
Right.
biggest money maker.
Signing
Like,
NDAs and
okay, let's
stuff.
keep him, yeah, let's keep him in the dark. And
Yeah.
then we'll just like be like, oh, surprise, yeah, you are gonna have like it's just kind of stupid. I don't know why that logically makes no sense.
Yeah.
Um, like I understand with like the CM Punk thing, like a
Right.
little bit more, but like they did it with CM Punk for sure. Told everyone he wasn't coming, and then he came, which is kind of not cool, also. But this is like a lot worse, in my opinion, where you have someone win the Royal Rumble and then you just like pull the rug out from under them.
Right.
So, and the other reason I think this is I know this wasn't a work other than like Fightful kind of like saying, hey, they had plans and they changed. Um, why would you have Cody win the Royal Rumble?
Right. Well, to set him up and make him bigger than he's ever been. Like you're screwing him
R
over.
well, I guess, but it just story wise doesn't make sense because the person with the that wins the Royal Rumble has choice of who they wrestle.
I know. That's why when Roman was saying, I choose to,
Yeah,
and
that
then
was that was the other thing when he said I choose the Rock. I was like, that's not how this works, dude. Like
Seth was
it's
yelling that at him. Seth was
yeah.
like, he's like, that's not how this works. That's not, you don't get to choose. And then Roman was like, yes, I do. He's like, Cody's had his chance. So I thought that was hilarious.
So
Seth's like, that's not how this works.
my thing with Seth, so they made him look like a real weenie this
I
like last like
know.
2 weeks.
I felt bad for him for like a tiny second. Like I kind of felt
Yeah.
bad.
And I connect with his character zero and I felt bad.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
same
like
here.
you
I was
know
like,
I don't like as a wrestler, I think he's a good wrestler. Not I don't like this character very much at all. Um this whole reign has annoyed the hell out of me virtually the whole time. Like he should have
mhm,
been cashed in on like six
right.
months ago, but he's
Or
like
lost twice, at least to,
he should have lost to Finn.
yeah.
Like or Drew. He should have lost to
Mhm,
either of those two guys. Even Sammy, I'd be fine. And all those people were getting cashed in on, and he's basically like stronger than Cena in his prime somehow, like with a
mhm,
broken back, which annoys the hell out of me that he doesn't sell when he has to do his finishers. But
mhm,
even I feel bad for him. And like some people are like acting like they can you could automatically build Seth back up in one
mhm.
promo because he's never lost to Roman Reigns in like an actual important match.
That's true. Well, yeah, he won by DQ, and he Roman's never officially beat him.
Well, Seth won by DQ, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Seth won by
Yeah, so
DQ.
like he literally beat him and that match was like silly. Like I feel like that was a botch like finish or whatever, but
Yeah.
um I have to rewatch that. But yeah, Seth hasn't lost to him. So like Roman
Hmm.
acting like that's the number 2 title, it's like, dude, and
Yeah.
Seth said it like you could the mics didn't catch it, but like he was like, dude, I've never like lost to you or
Hmm.
whatever. And I feel like you could automatically heat that title back up by
Totally.
Seth just going through that because he hasn't. So,
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, yeah, he looks like a weenie, but he is kind of a weenie anyways. So it's not like like he's been doing good promos though, and I thought a lot of people were like, why was he there? Like he was
Well,
just
because
like,
Cody
cause
still had the decision to make. That's why.
yeah,
Yeah.
there was a purpose for him being there, and he's like, yes, he's kind of just standing off to the side, and he looks like you mean the dude who's like left at the altar, kind of. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm fine with it. Like they act like it did so much damage to this title. I don't. You just have him do one promo where he's like, yeah, I'm the only person who's like Roman never beat me when I
Mhm.
challenged him for that belt, and then he never gave me a rematch.
Mhm. That's it.
Like,
No
and
argument.
then it's like, okay, like, yeah, this is a legit belt,
Hmm.
so I'm good with it. Uh, yeah, I don't have a problem with it, and I Seth has grown on me a bit, like trying to sell this belt. I
Hmm.
think it means something. It's not as good as Roman's belt, but it doesn't. You're never gonna have two belts that feel exactly equal.
Hmm.
Like I just feel like it's not possible, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
even though like let's look at the two women's belts. Does Io's belt feel as powerful as Rhea's?
Heck no.
But if you think about it, Io's beaten way better people with
It's
that
true.
belt.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah. Who?
it was with cheating and stuff, but she still beat
Right.
like that's a lot of she's beaten better people than Rhea has had to.
That's true.
Other than what well, she beat Charlotte too or whatever. Like didn't I
Mhm.
believe Io beat Charlotte, didn't she? At
EO?
some point. Yeah.
I think so.
She beat
Uh,
Bianca,
yep.
right? I believe.
How
She
many times
beats
did she defend the belt?
I don't even know who
I
she's
don't remember.
beaten. I
Because
mean,
people
none
are
of the
complaining that she hasn't that she's had a boring reign, a title
Rhea
run.
or
So
Io.
EO.
I think it's like fine. She just cheats a lot, and it's
Hmm.
I think it could have been better with how many good wrestlers are on that.
Okay.
Like
I think okay, Rhea carries the belt around a lot better than EO does. But who has had a more convincing and solid title run since winning?
Rhea,
Okay.
because Rhea hasn't cheated to win,
Yeah.
and she won a
Right.
fatal four
She just
way. Or
dominates everybody.
yeah, I mean she won a fatal four way to
Yeah.
defend her belt at one point, which is like
Yeah.
ridiculous. And there's like Nia Jackson there, like it's
Yeah.
like so. While oh yeah, because Io had a triple threat, right? And then Kyrie saved her or something.
Hmm.
Isn't that
It
how it
was
happened?
Bianca and not Asuka.
Was it
Uh,
Charlotte?
yeah, it was either Charlotte. Was it Asuka?
I don't remember, but I know
Yeah.
that Kyrie helped her or whatever,
Yes.
at least one of the times. But yeah, I mean, I guess Rhea won one of her times because Nia Jax came in and like beat up Raquel, but it's not like that wasn't
Hmm.
like Rhea had someone really help her that much on purpose. Like I feel like Rhea's and people complain about Rhea, but I think some of I'd be interested to see if they actually let Io like do more promos or do like the Shinsuke thing where she's speaking Japanese. Um, I think she would look like a more powerful champion because it's they've kind of used Bailey and Dakota
As
Kai
the
as a
mouthpiece.
crutch. Yeah, as a crutch for her
Hmm.
and or a mouthpiece, and I think that's hindered her reign a
Hmm.
lot. But also her reign has been with the sole purpose of having Bailey turn babyface. Really
Right.
is the whole
Right.
thing. So, but yeah, you think Io's reign has been better though?
No, I don't know. I really couldn't answer the question because,
Yeah.
I think again, I think Rhea carries the belt a lot better, but I know EO is, she's won. I think it was against Charlotte and Bianca because I remember Charlotte propping up the figure eight and
Oh, the
then
second time, yeah, because they did that in the triple threat with that Io cashed in on her
mhm,
on Bianca, who had it for like 10 seconds, the belt.
right.
Um, yeah, so I'm dude, I can't remember. Maybe it was Charlotte and
Asuka. Was Asuka
Asuka.
in? Was
Asuka was
Asuka
in
in?
one of them, I think.
Was she in Damage Control when Kyrie?
No,
She wasn't, right? Asuka joined
no.
after Kyrie
After
came.
when Kyrie was, they
Right.
had like a weird thing, and then Asuka like basically just turned on Bianca or whatever, misted
Right. It
her in
was
the
on like a
face.
SmackDown or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. Here's the last question about the belts. All right. Who's had a better year with their belts? Roman or Seth?
Man, I'm such a Roman stan, but the fact that Seth is defending it at almost every PLE, who's he fought? Drew, Shinsuke, Finn,
Jay,
Jay,
Sammy.
Sammy.
He had two against Finn, two against Shinsuke.
Yeah.
He hasn't defended it as much as you would think. Because I've like when they're like, oh yeah, he defends it all the time. He doesn't defend it that much, but Roman defends it so
Few.
little, few
Yeah.
times.
Roman had
It's
Crown
Drew
Jewel.
twice too.
Oh, Drew twice. Oh, I mean, it's so interesting.
I don't even think it's because I think you have to say Seth.
Oh, absolutely.
Since Mania. Like, so if you include before Mania, like Roman before the last Mania, he beat
And E Chambers,
Drew. Yeah, he beat when did he beat Drew? Was that in January? Clash at
Roman.
the Castle? Yeah, Roman. Or was that the year before, or was that December?
It might have been December. I thought it was KO at Royal Rumble last year, and
Okay, so he beat, yeah, it was
I thought it was
KO,
Sammy at E
Sammy,
Chamber,
and then
Cody.
Cody. And then
That's it.
mm,
SummerSlam,
he
SummerSlam.
Jay
hmm And I think that's it.
and no, he did
Oh,
LA
and
Knight and then the
Crown
Fatal
Jewel.
Four Way.
So it's what, five right there?
No, Crown Jewel he was that LA Knight or Crown Jewel?
Yeah. Right? One thing in
No,
Saudi.
no, no, no. LA Knight was at what was that at? Oh, was that at Survivor Series? No. LA Knight was like right before Royal Rumble. It must have been Survivor Series, right? What else was before that?
Roman,
Fastlane?
Roman. Let's see. Um, Match.
I
Oh,
mean,
my daughter.
let's be real. LA Knight. Maybe it was a Saudi show.
I think it was.
Because the
Um,
other Saudi shows when they had the sick like the tag match.
yeah. Yeah. When did Roman lose to Jay in the tag match? Oh no, wait. He didn't lose to Jay in the
Bloodline
tag.
Civil War. No, he got pinned by Jay in the tag match.
Was that SummerSlam?
No, it was Bloodline Civil War. And then he lost and then Jimmy sabotaged Jay at SummerSlam.
Hold on a second, yeah. Hold on. I know
Yeah.
we're recording. I have to kick my daughter out real quick.
Okay.
Hold on. You can pause recording if you want. Let me see. All right, sorry about that.
Oh, you're
I'm gonna
good.
continue recording. Um, okay, cool. I think we're back on.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
It might have been Crown Jewel. Yeah.
So was Bloodline Civil War at what event was that? Backlash?
No, that was the other Saudi one.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that one's called. LA Knight at Crown Jewel. That
Okay.
Bloodline Civil War match was pretty sick, actually.
Yeah, it was a good one.
The tag match, and then Roman
Yeah.
got pinned.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, so he's defended it like three times in like 9 months.
So KO, Sammy,
Oh, I mean, if you
uh,
would include the whole year, but I'm talking
Cody.
about like I was gonna just do from when Seth got his belt to
Oh,
now.
oh yeah, no, way less. Way, way less.
But even if you include the whole year, I would still say Seth because he beat
Can you hear my
almost all
daughter
this.
crying?
Oh no, I can't hear her.
Okay.
I would still say Seth has had a better reign this year. Um,
Oh, totally. No, I agree. I agree.
but yeah, I love Roman, but he doesn't wrestle, so it's hard to
Yeah,
like.
I agree.
Um,
Okay, so I got a question for you about WrestleMania real quick.
yeah.
I know you had proposed or you thought, the possibility of of the main event becoming a triple threat match. Rock, Roman, Cody for the title. What else could happen? I mean, aside from that, what would the Rock's role be, do you think? I know
Well,
cards
I've
subject to
heard
change. What do you think
the
Rock's role will be at Mania?
that I you have to have a triple threat. I know a lot of people don't, but if you have The Rock and he wants to wrestle, like I don't really care about Cody having a one-on-one versus Roman personally.
Hmm.
Like finishing the story has nothing to do with beating Roman in a one-on-one match. I
Hmm.
don't know why everyone like feels like it has to
Yeah, I know.
be like a rematch and like I mean it's fine. Like I want Roman needs to be in the match because I'm good with that, but I don't like a triple threat I find will probably be more interesting.
Yeah,
With The Rock in it, you have The Rock wants to wrestle, so like have him wrestle. Um,
but not
I
carry the
think
load.
yeah, I mean
Yeah,
you could have him just basically squashing him, Roman and The Rock squashing Cody in the beginning, and then I think
right.
the story is better too, because if you
Right, because it
start
could lead into some bloodline stuff.
right, and you can have the whole authority like corporate Rock like puts
Hmm.
himself in the match, even though like Triple H doesn't want it,
Hmm.
and um, you can also have people want Cody to have like overcome adversity.
Hmm.
Cody having to beat two people in the bloodline in the match with all those jabronis coming in and helping those
Hmm.
guys because triple threat is no DQs.
Right,
So think about all the wild that's also going to help The Rock too. Like you're going to have Solo coming in, Jimmy, like
right.
Rikishi, who knows? Like you can have
Jay.
Jay, Jacob Fatu. I think
Hmm.
Jacob Fatu's signing.
Oh, that'd be sick.
So
Be sick.
I think that's going to be a big wrinkle in this whole thing. Um, and he's the best wrestler out of all of them, to be honest.
Hmm.
Uh, the dude's nuts. So yeah, I think you have to have a triple threat because otherwise, what are you doing with this story? A lot of people have been talking about tag match and having Seth
Hmm.
in the tag. I don't care about that at all. And like logistically, they're like, oh, tag match night one, and then
Some type
with
of turn.
well, a tag match with Seth and
I don't know
Cody
what that would fulfill. I mean, I'm
does
saying it's a
nothing.
possibility, but I don't know what it would fulfill. Like how would that advance the
The
story at all?
the only way you do anything, it does anything really, is like if you're like, okay, somehow they put a stipulation if The Rock and Roman win, then The Rock gets to be added to the event, the match with Cody and Roman. Like that, like then I'm like, okay, then there's like a purpose to it, I guess. I'd be
Mhm.
like cool with that, but you should have it at a elimination chamber.
Mhm.
The like, but I don't think Seth is clear to wrestle by then.
Right.
And then anytime you do a like hey, we're gonna have a like a like thing night one. There's a chance someone's gonna get hurt, and when Rock is one of those four people, the chances of that increases like 10
True.
times.
Yeah.
He's only gonna be able to wrestle one match.
Yeah.
So, um,
Okay.
like
So triple threat just seems most logical
yeah, like
for
just have the
everything.
triple threat. Like I'm
Yeah.
cool with it. I don't need it to be. And if you have the triple threat, the Cody people are gonna be pissed, but that's fine. Like you could have them boo the Rock. It's like not a big deal. Like
Right.
Cody steals the match. You can't complain that much about it.
Right.
Like, and if you're still complaining, you are a Cody crybaby. If he's in the match and you like the Rock gets added into it. Like, dude. And then some of the Rock people are like, well, I want Rock on a solo match. Okay, we'll do it a different time. But
Right.
like have the
Yeah.
triple threat, and this
Yeah.
sets up all the stuff with Rock and Roman leading it up to because with you were talking about
Backlash.
um Roman looking like kind of like the Rock's like son or
Hmm.
whatever, like kind of his butler.
Hmm.
That sets up so much stuff where you
Hmm.
have you mean maybe they lose that match against Cody. And like Roman's like, all this was fine till you showed up, like type of like you get all that kind of thing going, or you have them working with each other to like beat up Cody in the beginning of the match, and then they're fighting over the pin. And then that like there's a lot of like really cool ways you could go with this story that I think is honestly way better than just Cody finishing the story at this point. Like I have one thought. So you know how WWE thought that everyone would be fine with Cody's story, like waiting another year, so it's like a 3 year
Hmm.
story to finish.
Hmm.
And it's like they're like, I can't believe people are like pissed. And it's like, dude, we've been waiting 2 years and you just invented something with 5 minute matches that go on X because we have short attention spans. Like you think that like we're good with another year of this damn story? Like you literally created a matches for our short attention span. So
That's
yeah,
true.
dude, we not gonna want to wait another year for this
Yeah.
dang story to finish. So yeah, it has to be a triple threat. The tag thing I think is stupid. Like you save the Rock even more because how much does he have to do in the tag match?
Hmm.
Like I
Right.
mean, a few like rock bottoms.
Right. Yeah. I thought if anything, it would just be defending the bloodline if they were doing a tag thing because they're like united for this reason now. But like, how far are they going to carry their unity? And what does that mean?
I,
So
I'd
I,
rather have yeah, I'd rather have John Cena in the tag match if you do the tag match.
mm, John
Dude,
Cena and Cody,
yeah,
that'd
and
be
I don't
cool.
even like John Cena that much, but I think it'd
Did you
be
see him
kind of
playing for the
cool.
Savannah Bananas?
No, I didn't see that.
He was playing for the Savannah Bananas.
He's something else. Yeah, I don't.
Side quests.
Yeah, I've heard some crazy stories. So some people are like, you have a tag match, and then that's the main event. And then if Cody and Seth win, they get Cody gets Roman's belt. But if Rock and Roman win, then they get the belts and Rock gets
Oh,
uh
I saw that.
Seth's belt. I'm like,
Nah,
what the hell kind of
nah. Too
convoluted?
many free giveaways. Too many free giveaways and opportunities that WWE can milk. Um, if they don't like, they wouldn't give up that much.
I don't want this to take up multiple matches. Like I don't
Yeah, for the different nights.
yeah, like
Yeah, I don't either.
I'd rather see a like Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax match on the
Right.
card instead
Yeah.
of like a random tag match that what is it for?
Hmm.
Like it's not like it's a showcase of like
Yeah.
excellent tag wrestling because it'll be the worst tag match on the card.
Yeah.
Like
Rock and
easily.
Roman versus DIY.
I mean DIY would sell the hell out of it
Yeah.
for him. Johnny
Rock and Roman
Gargano
versus the
would like
Creed.
you know the bumps Johnny Gargano would take for The
Oh yeah.
Rock. He would act like he got like electrocuted across the mat with a freaking people's elbow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know we had SmackDown, but I don't think there was anything of significance at this point. But I
Other
just
than the
want to ask,
chamber. Yeah.
other than the chamber stuff, but I want to ask one question regarding one more regarding WrestleMania XL, and then I got to run because I got to put my daughter to
Yeah,
bed.
yeah, you're good.
Um, is it guaranteed? I mean, do these Cody crybabies or whomever else, is it? Do they think it's guaranteed that Cody's gonna finish the story at
Oh,
WrestleMania?
no, it's not guaranteed. Well, dude, I think you have to. I'd be if they did not have Cody finish his story after all of this, he won the Rumble back to back, dude.
Yeah,
That when's the last time it happened? 25 years?
Stone Cold.
Which was in the
90s.
90s?
97, 98.
Okay. So damn near like, yeah, like 25 years. I mean, come on. If someone wins back to back, and they're not gonna have someone win back to back Rumbles for probably another 20 years.
Right. Or lose back-to-back Manias
Against the
after
same
winning
person who
back-to-back
like,
Rumbles.
yeah, against the same person who cheats every time. That's
Right.
like his matches are getting, I mean, I'm tired of Roman's matches.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
like
people are getting
Roman.
fatigued with the reign. Even Roman stands.
Yeah, and I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I think he's great, but dude, I'm over these matches. That SummerSlam one, I was there, man, and that was like this like everyone was
Mm.
like, "Good Lord, this is like," and I think he got hurt during the match, but still, like he hasn't. The last good match Roman has been in was the Civil War match, and that was a tag match.
Hmm.
And that was hot as balls like the last 10 minutes. That was awesome, but
Hmm.
I haven't been impressed with a match since
Right.
then, and that
Right.
was May.
Hmm.
I mean, dude, you gotta. But yeah, I would be shocked if Cody didn't finish the story if all this stuff happens,
Yeah.
because you're
They have
gonna
to.
really alienate the fans at this
Right.
point. Just let him
Yeah.
finish the damn story,
Yeah. They're going
and
to
we.
become protest fans again from that one time.
I
Like
mean, they
after.
already are, but I like the thing is you have competition to go.
Right.
Like, I'll just go watch AEW. At least they're gonna
Right.
let Swerve win.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they're that story's gonna finish quicker than Cody's.
Right.
I mean, George R. R. Martin's gonna finish Game of Thrones before then.
I saw a funny comment. I know it's not true, but like the absurdity made me laugh so hard. It said, "Remember when AEW was better than WWE and now NXT is better than AEW?" I just started laughing because I was like, "That's
It's
so
so
dumb,"
wild.
but it's hilarious that like it would be a thought in somebody's head, and that like that's how bought in they are to the ridiculousn's of NXT right now.
You're not even actually watching NXT and AEW if you think that. Like, I enjoy NXT is my favorite show to watch every week, but it is not the best show. Like Dynamite is certainly better and has a lot better matches. So,
Oh
I mean, there's no Chase U calendar on AEW Dynamite, but
man.
and no boxing glove attached to a stick, but
Oh,
they don't
dude,
have
that's so
Dijak the
good.
Private Eye torturing people in his office. Like, I mean,
That's so good.
but dude, that's a great. It's so stupid. But all right, man. Well, I'll let you go.
Yeah,
So,
man. Let's get back on the horn again, once we hear more stuff about Road to WrestleMania for sure.
for sure, yeah. I
Yeah.
think this SmackDown or this Raw is gonna be pretty crazy. I bet. So, um, we'll see what happens. Because Cody's gonna talk, so we'll get some stuff there and more chamber stuff. And we didn't even talk about Sammy losing his chamber qualifier match, which we,
Oh, they gotta be doing something with this guy. They have to. Losing to Randy, I mean,
bro, no one wants Randy in that match, really.
exactly. He could barely move in the ring. How is he gonna freaking be in a chamber, dude? Oh, man.
They just made that match so much worse taking Sammy out of it.
I know. I know. Like
It
bumps and
like,
spots, I'm like, dude, it's not Randy's not the guy.
dude, I'll be real. Dirty Dom is a better person to have in that match than Randy.
Of course.
Dom is gonna
Yeah,
take crazy bumps. He's gonna get his ass beat by everyone,
anybody from
and he's
Judgment
gonna
Day.
team up with Logan Paul and beat people up too to
Oh
get
man, that'd be
ultimate
great.
heat.
Oh,
I
if Logan
cannot
Paul
wait
came
for that.
in, that'd be
Logan
sweet too.
Paul's making it in for sure. He's going against the Miz.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There's no way they're putting the Miz in that match over Logan Paul.
That's true. That's true.
And
Oh, that's
Logan
gonna be
Paul and
sick
Dom
too.
like each other. They're gonna have those two knuckleheads in there like
Alliance.
ganging up on people.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. Yeah. All right, we'll talk more about it.
Yeah. All right, sounds good, man. I'll talk to you
All
later.
right.